Yo, what's going on YouTube? Nassif here from Click, and today, as you can see, we're back on Gran Turismo 7 after a really long time. I haven't been playing the game as much as I wanted to be over the last few months, but it is what it is. We're back on the game now, and we are in Daily Race A. Now, this race is from last week's Daily Races, so a little bit late to getting this recorded, but we are in a C-rated lobby, as you can see here, because we haven't played the game in so long, and I think after a certain amount of time, your rating gets reset. So we are just working on getting that back up. But we are in the 911 Carrera RS from 1995, the 993, and we are racing around, I think the village, it's Alsace Village or Alsace Village. I'm not sure how to pronounce the track. But we are going to load in here and take a look and see how this race goes. All right, so we're in. I mean, you can see here we did start in first place with a qualifying time of 2:12.17. Now, that's not my fastest lap possible. I think I was doing a lot of these races without actually setting a qualifying time and trying to start from the back. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because you ended up getting caught in a ton of mayhem. So I ended up setting a quick qualifying time, and we started in first for this race. So let's see how these first corners go. And on these first few corners here, we did have a good battle here with Max Dice on the right-hand side, as you can see on the radar here. On the first corner, he went on the inside, I think tried to take a sort of an overtaking line, but I took the wider line and carried more speed down the straight here, which is, I guess, important to set a good lap time. Braking in here on the next corner, again, not trying to go too tight, mostly actually staying wide on the track so I can carry more speed through the corner. And as you can see, that again shifts us back into first place after losing the position for a few seconds there. But a really good battle between myself and Max Dice here. I think we were going at it for a couple laps back and forth. So let's take a look and see how this plays out. All right, so just breaking free a little bit here from Max Dice there, and you'll notice on this track that majority of the corners are all about, obviously on all racetracks, is maintaining your speed, but on this track especially, you want to minimize tire scrubbing, you want to minimize how much steering input you're giving, and obviously you want to be using, as you can see here, all of the track possible. You can go way up on the curb on the left hand side of that corner, and I noticed that a lot of people weren't using that track space, and so that was giving me the advantage in this race in particular. Coming around this corner here, there's actually no braking required, just a slight lift. If you lift too much, you'll find that the car might understeer, and if you brake too hard, you'll also find maybe that you're understeering off because it's an uphill off-cambered angle. So it is what it is, but we made it pretty much through. Opened up a good gap here, about half a second from the guy behind us, and just going through now on the second lap. Going to try and space ourselves out a little bit more here so there's no opportunity to get past. And another example here you'll see of sort of playing it a little bit wider and using all the track is very beneficial on this course. I don't know if you looked at the radar previously, but you could see Max Dice was catching up, and he went on the inside line, which actually made him slower through that first corner. And as you can see now, we are completely walking away from him, opening up the gap to about 6/10 or 7/10 by the end of the next corner. And as we round the next corner here, if you look at the back and as we pop back there, we see that Max Dice did seem to touch a little bit of grass on the corner exit there. And as you can see on the top left there, the time gap is just growing. We opened up the gap to about 1.1 seconds now. So I'm pretty comfortable for the rest of this race. Now it's just a matter of taking it home and getting it across the line. And unfortunately, as you can see here, running a little bit wide on this corner, catching a bit of grass, going up on the bumper or on the curb, and just trying to carry too much speed through that corner and up understeering. So based on that, you can see that the gap now has come down to below a second. So I'm really just focused on driving smooth here from here on out, try to make the least amount of mistakes possible, and just make sure that I cross the line in one piece. And coming on this corner again, really want to just emphasize how much you can go over those curbs on the left-hand side. You're basically putting the entire car on the left-hand side of the curb and really staying tight on this corner so that you can carry as much speed as you can coming up this straight. And as you can see here, no braking, just a slight lift. Keep the power on about 50%. You should be able to power your way through all the way down to the last couple corners here. And for the last corners here, going into the downhill right-hander, is very important to not over-brake the corner because you will end up on the wall on the left-hand side. And also the most optimal line is to try and stay on the right-hand side of the track prior to the last quarter there. So just something to keep in mind. Make sure you're not braking too late into that downhill because you will carry the speed all the way through and end up eating the wall for lunch. So just zipping through here this section, just wanted to point out the time difference right now. So as you can see, we're about 1 second ahead going into this oddly shaped corner where you don't actually have to brake that much to get around it. It's a little deceiving on how much speed you can carry through, but as you can see, the time there now is like 1.2, 1.3, still climbing. And as we get around to the end of this next corner, which I don't think I took all that quick. As you can see, we ate a little bit of curb there, but just to giving you an example to show how a very, very small error or very, very small mistake can really impact the distance between you and the guy ahead of you. So right now we're down to 1.1 seconds. We're underneath a second. He must have made a mistake on that sweeping corner there, and now we're over half a second ahead by the time we get to the next corner. And same thing with this corner, like I mentioned already. Eat the curb, take the curb, you won't lose traction, you won't spin out, and make sure you're braking hard and straight, and you should be able to carry a ton of speed through the corner here. And as you can see now, the gap is about 2 seconds. And again, just to really emphasize the brake zone here, we're braking way before that little arch barrier thing that's there, the little bridge or whatever that is on top. So again, slower is faster around this last section of corners here. And make sure, again, on the corner exit, you don't eat the wall on the right-hand side, because that's something that's very common as well. And as you can see, we did finish the race comfortably in the lead by about 2 seconds. So it was a really good run. Shout out to Max Dice for a really nice race. And thank you guys so much for watching. That's pretty much it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to see more GT7 content in the future, feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know. Catch you in the next one. Peace.